Within this now, multidimensional light is traveling from the fifth dimension, seeking to share itself with all life. Hence, every being, planetary, galactic, universal, and, yes, even human, is consciously or unconsciously experiencing this light. Before, we only experienced the fragmentations of the third and fourth dimensional light, but now the light is coming into us without that fragmentation into the 7 different octaves. A chorus of unconditional love and violet fire accompanied this multidimensional light. The beings of Gaia, meaning not just the humans, but also the cetaceans and the members of the animal and plant kingdoms, are consistently creating tunnels of light. These tunnels of light are also tunnels of hope and unconditional love. Unconditional love is the antidote to fear and darkness. As these light tunnels open up from the body of Gaia and journey far beyond the third dimension to collect the fifth dimensional light and love, they also serve to create a healing force against the fear that is forever trying to increase its impact. Hence, these frequencies of fear are beginning to dissolve under the impact of the multidimensional light. Those that have lived in, and ruled by, darkness, are afraid of this light, as they fear it may end their life. Because they have not meditated and because they have not allowed themselves to remember their dreams, they do not have any awareness of the light and love that is just beyond the fourth dimensional lower astral plane in the land of fairy and beyond. Therefore, these lost ones think that they can only live within the third dimensional reality and fear that it is coming to its conclusion. Actually, tunnels of light surround them, but their frequency is so low that they cannot perceive them. These tunnels of light have been opened by the members of Gaia to welcome in the wholeness and oneness of unconditional love and light. This multidimensional light and love is first moving into the areas that have opened the portals. As that multidimensional light moves through the portals into the core of Earth, Gaia accepts and amplifies it so that she can emanate out to the surface of all of her planetary areas. In this manner, Gaia can share her expanded light with all the beings on all of her surface. Since this higher light emanates, not just from the higher dimensions, but also from the core of Gaia, beings that have not been fortunate enough to be in an area in which there are opened portals, can also experience the higher light. In this manner, everyone can experience the higher light that has been so generously shared with Gaia via the myriad open portals. As the awakening ones begin to remember their multidimensional selves, they are able to call in their higher expressions of self within the angelic and the galactic worlds. In fact, many are asking for, and welcoming, the assistance that the Arcturians, Pleiadians, Sirians, Antarians, and Andromedans are sending to all the members of Earth and to the Mother Gaia, as well. Because Gaia is a cause and effect planet, the process of transmutation of darkness into light needs to be initiated by the beings that first sent out the darkness. These beings are only within the humanoid kingdom, as the animal, plant, and etheric kingdoms live within the oneness of love for their planet. Thus, those wearing earth vessels are needed to send out the antidote. It is for this reason that many higher beings took a human form to assist Earth. Even though many of those wearing an earth vessel may not have been the ones to send out the darkness, they took an earth vessel in order to help the planet. Gaia is also a cause and effect planet, so the dark ones who have put fear into Gaia's reality must receive that fear and transmute it by unconditionally loving and forgiving themselves, as well as others. If they are able to do this, if they are able to accept the effects of their cause and transmute those effects with their own unconditional love, they too will be able to join the great event of planetary transmutation. No one is too dark to be forgiven or too fearful to live in love. Those who use their free will to choose to assist the planet with her transmutation, will greatly expand their consciousness. This expansion of consciousness is because they chose to contribute in the great event of planetary ascension. Therefore, they have set out the cause of we are creating planetary ascension, which brings back the effect of being a member of planetary consciousness. Within this expanded consciousness, they can create portals that will open wider and move into higher and higher frequencies and dimensions. These portals of light will be able to accept more and more multidimensional light and unconditional love. In fact, these expanded streams of light can more efficiently move down into the Gaia's core crystals, then emanate out from core and onto Gaia's entire surface, into Gaia's aura/atmosphere, beyond Gaia's aura, and into and through the fourth dimension. When this higher light moves into the core of Gaia, then out into the third and fourth dimensional time-bound realities, the now of this light releases the concepts of past and future, as well as the separation and limitation created by third-fourth dimensional time. With the release of the concept of separation, the third and fourth dimensions blend into the now of Gaia's process of transmutation into a fifth-dimensional planet of higher light and unconditional love. In this manner, the illusion of separation between life, which was perceived as living on a physical world, and death, which was perceived as living on a fourth-dimensional astral world, is released. As these illusions are released, they are replaced with the knowing that life is eternal, and death is a third-dimensional illusion. Even the fourth dimension is not ruled by the illusion of death, for that is where people go when they have died to their third-dimensional reality. However, once in the fourth dimension, they discover that they are not dead. It is then that they realize that life continues far beyond that of their physical embodiment. As Gaia expands more and more into fifth-dimensional consciousness, those who go back into incarnation will realize that there is no separation between life and death. They will remember that there is no separation between the third dimension and the fourth dimension. With that memory, they will realize that all separation is an illusion of the third and lower fourth dimension. They will remember that they are not separate from other people, and they are not separate from the planet. Then, even those who initially took an incarnation on Earth as beings of darkness, to hold a pattern of power over others, learn that there are no patterns of power over others, as there are no others. Also, as Gaia resonates faster and faster into the fifth dimension, any of those of dark persuasion will no longer be able to send out any damaging, fearful, harmful thoughts, because these thoughts will immediately come right back to the sender. Then the sender of fear and darkness will say, "Wait, I can't do that anymore. I can't send out darkness because it comes right back to me. However, someone sent that darkness into me." Then they might say, "Wait, if I cannot send out darkness, then that darkness that was sent into me can now be released." Can you imagine? In fact, please do. Imagine a reality in which all those who have ever suffered darkness which tainted them to become members of the darkness, were spontaneously healed of that which first created that darkness within them. Remember that all of Gaia, all of life on Gaia, all of life on all of the planets, on all of the third dimension, came from the higher frequencies of light that were put through filters to be divided into different octaves. Then these octaves were perceived as separate. These octaves were even perceived as some being better and some being worse. Then that perception, which was really a judgment, went into people. In this manner, some people were good and some people were bad. Then the bad people made other people feel bad. But what if the good people realized that they were not separate from the bad people? What if the good people realized that they are the beloved people who have somehow remembered that they are one with light and one with love? What if they were to share their light and love with all the people that have formerly identified as bad? What if there was no separation? What if those who have defined themselves as bad were somehow able to release that programming and accept the light of unconditional love so that they could unconditionally forgive and unconditionally accept themselves? Then, would they remember that they are one with all life? What a glorious healing! What if all of humanity was healed in the light, and all the darkness was released? It is you, the members of Gaia, who have the ability to create this reality with your own unconditional love, unconditional forgiveness, and the power of your own transmutation via the violet fire. We send you all, good, bad, in between, and whatever labels you have unfortunately attached to your awareness of self. We send you all unconditional love as we blaze the violet fire. Blessings, we are the one, which the many awakening ones are creating. Within that one, new earth is born.